Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. At the time I'm recording this video, the crypto market is taking a little bit of a dive, including XRP, but don't let that fool you. You know, earlier today, we actually hit a new all-time high for the crypto asset class. So definitely don't be fooled by a tiny little baby dip right here. The best is yet ahead. I'm going to share with you perspective from a number of different chart analysts in this very latest Moon Lambo hot jam. And what you're going to see is that there is no shortage of optimism from chart analysts who have pretty darn good track records, indicating that, yes, XRP is going to be entering face melt season much sooner rather than later. And one of these chart analysts insists that where XRP is right now, it is in the breakout zone. So even though we've come down a little bit, we are in this this kind of sideways motion, and we have been for a fair bit in a number of, how long has it been? Days, over a week now? Whatever it's been. Not going to stay here. We are not going to stay here. This thing is going to blast off. This market has not been so primed since, well, obviously since at least the election concluded in the United States in November. But this is it's even more primed, though. That's the thing. So even back then, yes, a lot of chart analysts were saying, okay, this thing's going to get hot after the election. The analysts that predicted that were correct. It's even more teed up now on a macro scale. You look at what's happening with the global liquidity, look at gold showing weakness. You can look at any number of things that wasn't necessarily the case in November. And this is what happens at the end of a market cycle. That's why this is so damn exciting. We really are at that point. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, it is 5:08 p.m. Central Time, Monday, August 11th, 2025. XRP is $3.13, which is its 24-hour low. Here's the 24-hour chart for XRP, but it's basically copying Bitcoin. Here's the 24-hour Bitcoin chart. You can see it's doing some very similar price action. It's displaying some very similar price action. Bitcoin at $118,567. But the 24-hour high, did you guys catch this yet? It was over $122,000. So it's just a matter of time before Bitcoin finally breaks its current all-time high, which is close to $123,000, and then just melts to the upside, which is going to happen. I don't know where it's going to peak, but as far as I'm concerned, that's a virtual certainty. Bitcoin dominance will break down, and altcoin dominance will increase. Coins like Ethereum and XRP are going to absolutely rip. Speaking of Ethereum, I don't usually pull up an Ethereum chart, even on Live Coin Watch, on this channel, just because I own Ethereum, nothing terribly against it. I just don't care about it. It's not that exciting to me, except for that when it starts going, I know that is a signal that the rest of the market is about to rip. Historically, that just is the case. And Ethereum at a little over $4,200 as I record this, 24-hour high though of $4,353. Folks, that is almost $3,000 higher in price per ETH than it was months ago when people were declaring it was dead. It was around $1,400, something like that. It was slightly higher than that, but pretty darn close to that. And here we are, and it is showing strength. And this is exactly what you want to see. But look, this thing hasn't even hit a new all-time high yet this cycle. All-time high is $4,861. It's coming, though. And I don't know where this thing's going to peak. Lots of analysts think probably close to $10,000. And if XRP is going to come gunning for that number 2 spot in market cap, if Ethereum's at $10, then to match that, XRP would have to be at $20. We'll see if it happens, but there's historic precedent for this. That's the cool thing. Here's a post from the blockchain backer just from this morning, 9:54. It was last night, 9:54 p.m. And he wrote here, after maintaining weekly closes above the December 2024 highs for the total market cap of the cryptocurrency market, the most recent weekly candle just closed the highest yet and continues higher into the new week, now at $4 trillion. And folks, it is slightly surreal to see that number 4 right there. I always believed this is possible. Even when I jumped into crypto in 2017, and I remember thinking about it a lot throughout 2018, I was like, this is going to get way bigger. Because my thought process was either I'm disastrously wrong, and so is everybody else in crypto, and we're all idiots, and it's going to zero sooner than later, which I never believed. Or it's just going to get bigger and bigger as more humans on the planet Earth figure out that we are right, and that's the direction it's actually going. So I saw this asset class with a market cap as low as what, like 100 billion? Maybe it's less than it even. But from that to $4 trillion. And eventually it's going to be over $10 trillion and then tens of trillions of dollars. And one day it will be over $100 trillion, which is why I keep insisting, even if you listening to this are new to crypto, and I know some of you are, even though the mass people from the retail side haven't flowed in yet. If you're new, you are still early. I must insist. I know you don't, it won't feel like that to you right now, but I'm telling you, look, come back and talk to me when this asset class inevitably hits $100 trillion and you've made your life-changing wealth. You're not going to think that you were late. You're going to be like, yeah, I absolutely was early. And Moon Lambo, you are correct. You were also very smart and handsome. I love your jawline. Those will be the types of comments that will be flowing towards me because that's what's coming. You're definitely not late. Here's a post from Watcher Guru to illustrate this point. This is just from this morning, 11:25 a.m. They wrote, just in, total cryptocurrency market cap reaches a new all-time high of $4.1 trillion. Folks, you love to see it. This does not happen at the end of bull markets, folks. It just doesn't. Not at the end. Because think about what sentiment has been. It's in the gutter, and we're hitting a new all-time high. I mean, it's not in the gutter for me, maybe not you, but there are a lot of people that are not euphoric. No, like, pretty much nobody's euphoric right now. Come on. If this will load, there we go. Okay, here's a post from Chart Analyst Mustache. This is the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So that's the total 2 chart. And he says, it has finally happened again. Bullish cross in the monthly MACD, total 2. Chart also has a lot of similarities to the previous cycle. And you can see what he's referencing right here. Look what happened. The cross right here in 2020 just happened here right now. It happened at the end of the year after the election. Bull market things, folks. This is what happens before you start seeing true mania. It's just so obvious that this is the most probable outcome. And nobody can technically know for sure, including me, but I do have well-placed confidence, I believe. And I think it's a virtual certainty this is what's going to happen. Here's a post from Nigentropic. This is the account that's run by the co-founders of on-chain analytics firm Glassnode. And they wrote, this move is unprecedented. Spot demand is real. The calm before the storm. And what are they referencing here? This post from Swissblock. Bitcoin futures to spot ratio. They wrote here, we keep hearing fake out rally, exit liquidity. Couldn't be further from the truth. Since the April lows, this move has been spot driven. Massive allocators hoovering up every last Bitcoin. Futures to spot ratio is back to October 2022 lows, a signal of epic spot demand. This is real. Now that you love to see. I'm a huge fan. So Swissblock, I've been following them more recently. Another account that's just ridiculously data driven. They'll share perspective, like technically there is an opinion here, of course, but it's just here's the data. This is what it has historically meant. That's what I want. It's absolutely fantastic. Helps me come to reasonable conclusions about what's most probable. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Dom, and hang with me. We're getting into a bunch of XRP stuff, I promise. Just sit tight, though. We're almost there. Bitcoin dominance peaked over the edge and decided it wasn't ready yet. It looked like a bearish retest is attempting to form right here. I think the next break under 60% will be the real one. So he's still of the camp that, yeah, this thing's going to break down, which obviously means if history plays out like history has always played out, then you see Bitcoin price surge as the dominance comes down. And the other day we were at 59 point something percent. I highlighted it on my channel at the time. Very happy to have been able to do that. So at the time you posted that is 60.59%. This thing's going to fall now. It's going to drop like a rock, and you're going to see altcoin dominance rocket. That's what's coming, including XRP. Here's another post from Dom. Ethereum update. The above post played perfect. Ether has cleared the 500-day resistance zone that rejected price 4 times. I think the question now is whether a retest comes or not. If so, $4,000 needs to stay a floor. Then I think all-time high is only a matter of when. Only 14% from here. Yeah, so it's really close as the time that he posted this, and even right now. This is at $4,331 when he posted this. But look at this. And this is always what happens. Like once you keep bumping up against a resistance level, it weakens each time, and it just plowed through it now. So let's hope that upon a retest, which is very normal in crypto, in charting in general, we're going to hold that $4,000 level. Let's hope for that. That would be a good indicator. So if we can stay there, I mean, there can always be slight deviations. So even if it does go slightly lower than that, if it's just for a moment, it doesn't matter. But if we can hold that and then rock it upward, whew, that probably means the party's on. You know what I'm saying? like everything's just going to start to go as soon as ETH does its thing, which it is close to doing. It is. We had to put up with it being a stupid little bitch with dumbass price action for most of the year. But I always believed it would come back, and of course it did, because it never made logical sense to say, no, it's not, and that it's dead now. That's just what foolish retailers say. That's what they always think. The price is low, therefore the thing is dead. No, that's not how this works, you fools. Absolutely not. That is not what that means. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. But here we are. And it just got to go a little bit more, and then rip. Here's a post from Crypto Wizard. This is market cap Bitcoin dominance percentage chart. He says, let it rain. Handed on a plate. How does it taste? Ethereum against Bitcoin is exploding upside. I should have said that this is, so it is the market Bitcoin dominance. The bottom one here, that's an ETH BTC pair, of course. So it says ETH against Bitcoin is exploding upside, whilst Bitcoin dominance continues to rapidly decline. Again, the alt rally has barely started. Buckle up, enjoy the ride. And that is the sentiment I keep seeing from the chart analysts that I follow. It's going. It's absolutely going, folks. Here's a post from chart analyst Zoom. Highest weekly close for ETH since December 2021. You'll love to see it. So he posted that last night, of course, with the weekly close, $4,249. That coin is not dead, my friends. I don't really see anybody disputing it now, but they sure as hell were like several months ago. Here we are. All it took was a little time. Oh, that's always the case. Here's another one from Zoom. XRP order book update. XRP currently sitting exactly where we want it to, around the $3.20 zone. And he posted this in the evening, last night. He said, next up, XRP might have a slight hiccup at $3.40, but I wouldn't be surprised if it blasts through that with the right momentum. The real fight for XRP is $3.60 to $3.80 zone. So I know we've come down a little bit since then, but still, we're in that same zone. Like we're just moving sideways, folks. We're not going to stay moving sideways forever. We just won't. Here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender, XRP USD on the screen here. It says XRP bounced exactly at $3.33. We will see a tremendous move when this level is broken. Now, isn't that something? Because I look at the chart here. Like, that's basically where we were. The 24-hour high, which, it occurred early this morning. According to Live Coin Watch, $3.32. That's a strikingly similar level to what he was just citing right there. So some resistance, fine. But we'll get back up there. $3.33. So anyway, we will see a tremendous move when this level is broken. Summary, XRP can continue consolidation towards $3.05 levels until $3.33 is eliminated. He says isn't eliminated, but he clearly meant from context, you can tell, is eliminated. So he cited some levels. I don't need to read them all. They're on your screen right here. But ultimately, yes, number go up, my friends. Here's a post from chart analyst CW. XRP's bull flag pattern breakout is imminent. The rocket will soon take off. And again, that is what I keep seeing. I can't find, I'm telling you folks, if I could find analysts that said that was it for XRP for the cycle, that's it, it's done, there isn't going to be another new all-time high, anything negative like that, I would share it on the channel because I like diverse perspectives, and if there's somebody that really genuinely believes that, yeah, I want to talk about it. I can't find it. I can't find people with such opinions. It's super rare. Like, I try, anytime I find anything that's even slightly negative sounding, I blast it on my channel because I want that. I want you guys to have all the information. It's just, I can't find it. I promise I'm not just like selectively posting all the rosy sounding stuff. Eventually the reports from these analysts will be negative. I'm going to share that too. Because XRP is eventually going to hit a peak this cycle. Okay, it's coming. And then I'm going to share that news with you, and then people will be screaming with me that I'm wrong. But they'll be wrong because they'll be just the typical lemming retail speculator. But it's going to happen, and you don't want to get wrong-footed. It's not like we want XRP to ever go to the downside and for the bubble to pop, but it's going to happen. We just need to be adults and recognize that. It is going to happen. So we can plan, plan our exit strategy. Here's a post from Chart Nerd. He says, if XRP can take out $3.27 and the local high of $3.60 on this impulse, I expect $4 to come with haste. The 618 fib resistance must be cleared. And so he posted that this morning, but we obviously haven't gotten there yet. But some stuff to watch for. He's still optimistic it's going to happen, of course. Here's a post from chart analyst Bark. He says, XRP heading to $11 to $15 after breaking on the weekly chart. This week will melt faces. Okay, I always get nervous for analysts when they start talking about specific timelines, but I'm not saying he's necessarily wrong in this particular instance because Uh, once you get to the late stages of a bull market, which is where we are, it really is like any day it could just start running. Okay, so I acknowledge that. But he's been insistent in a lot of recent posts, as I've highlighted on my channel, that this week there's going to be some serious fireworks for XRP. Fingers crossed, let's hope he's right. But even if it's not this week, it's still coming sooner than later, my friends. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Galaxy. XRP looks like 2017, only this time moving more slowly and organic. Price discovery soon. So he believes big stuff is about to happen also, and that the chart's looking good. And that's, again, it's a sentiment I keep finding. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Greg Crypto. XRP, what do you think? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Check out the chart below. And you can see what he's highlighting here. He's got this particular trend line. And by the way, if you look at where he's got September 1st marked here for this year, if it bumps up against the trend line, the price of XRP would be somewhere close to like 16 bucks. So, look, just keep in mind, I always know when we're far away from a price, it feels like it's just impossible and it would take forever to get there. It's just not true, though. We're in the late stages of a bull cycle like we are now. Price action actually happens really fast. Like when there's a green candle and everybody FOMOs into it, like everybody on the planet that's in crypto, yeah, it goes really fast. That's why in 2017 into early 2018, when XRP peaked, we went from about 20 cents up to $3.35 in about 2.5 weeks. And that was it. That was the end of it. It's going to happen fast. Like if you think about any given day, you could wake up and it's true. Like there's a possibility that even just a few weeks from now, the whole thing could be over. And you won't know for sure it's over when that happens. But I mean, there will be suspicions. Lots of analysts will have suspicions that's the case. But that's how quick this can happen is the point. So I'm not predicting 3 weeks from now it's over. I'm just saying once it starts going, that's how quickly it could be done. So you could just wake up any day and just state, yeah, 3 weeks from now it could be over, and that's plausible. It actually is. It does happen that fast. So I don't understand how anybody could not just be thrilled to be in the crypto market right now. That just wouldn't make any sense to me. The best is yet ahead. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.